Hello and welcome to bakingmad.com kitchen. I'm going to show you today how to make a chocolate hidden heart cake. And we start off with 175 grams of softened butter, 175 grams of Billington's golden caster sugar, and I'm going to beat those together until they're really soft, light and creamy. So when you've got the mixture really light and creamy, then you can add your eggs. Now my top tip when you're making a creamed butter cake is to have the butter and your eggs at room temperature before you start, then it's much easier. I'm just going to beat the eggs before I add them, and then they'll be incorporated a lot easier. Then add your egg just a little bit at a time while you're beating. Take your time while you're doing this stage, adding the egg, because the more you beat it at this stage, the less likely it is to curdle, and you'll get a lighter cake if you do that. If the cake mixture does curdle slightly, just add a little bit of flour in between beating, and that will bring the mixture back together again. Then when the mixture is really soft and light, then you can add 175 grams of sieved self-raising flour, and I'm just adding some baking powder as well for a little bit of extra rise. I'm also going to add a teaspoonful of Nielsen Massey vanilla extract for a really lovely flavour. And I'm making the pink heart cake, so I'm going to add some pink food colouring. Now depending on your colouring, you have to add it. We'll just add it gradually to give you the colour you want. So just quickly mix that together. Add as much pink food colouring as you need to give you quite a deep shade of pink. And that's obviously going to make the hidden heart part of our cake. So I'm going to bake that first of all in a 2-pound loaf tin, which I've just lined with baking parchment. So spread that into your loaf tin, and I'm just going to bake that at 180 centigrade, that's 160 fan, gas mark 4 for about 45 minutes until it's risen up and is golden and firm in the centre. When your cake's baked, take it out of the oven, let it cool completely, and then we're going to cut it into slices and use a heart cutter to cut our pieces of hidden heart. So take a slice and your cutter and just cut out the heart, and I'm going to use that inside the tin, and that's your hidden heart. Now all these extra crumbs you can scrunch up, mix with butter icing and make cake pops with, and if you haven't got time to do it now, just freeze it and use it later. I'm now going to make the chocolate part of the cake. So I've creamed my butter, sugar and eggs, and now I'm going to add 150 grams of self-raising flour, the baking powder, and 35 grams of cocoa powder. And just to boost the flavour, I'm going to add some Nielsen Massey chocolate extract, because that really just adds a little extra depth of chocolatey flavour, so about a teaspoonful. And because I'm using cocoa powder and it's a little bit dry, you might need a splash of milk as well. About half of the mixture in the tin, and then I'm going to arrange my hearts down inside. If your heart's too big, you can always trim it slightly, but what we're aiming for is them to sit right in the middle and the chocolate cake to come up over the top. Leave a little gap at either end because you want the cake mixture to come around it, and then we're just going to place the remaining chocolate mixture on top and let it fall down the sides to cover up your hearts. So now I'm going to put that in the oven, same temperature as before, 160 fan, that's 180 centigrade, gas 4, for another 45 minutes. While the cake's in the oven, you can be making your buttercream. So I've got 150 grams of butter, softened. I'm going to add 300 grams of sifted icing sugar. Just beat that together with a little bit of milk until it's nice and smooth. I've used golden icing sugar for this butter icing because it gives a lovely toffee flavour. When that's nice and creamed, I'm just going to add a teaspoonful of Nielsen Massey vanilla extract for extra flavour, and also 75 grams of melted plain chocolate. That's going to be a really divine icing. Once your cake's completely cooled, remove the paper, and then we can spread it all over with this gorgeous, rich chocolate fudgy icing. So let's slice it open, see if we find a heart.